In a quiet town where the streets whispered stories of forgotten dreams, James, a widower, walked alone under the dim glow of streetlights. His life had been shadowed by loss since his wife, Clara, passed away 5 years ago, leaving him to raise their young daughter, Emma, alone. James was a carpenter, his hands calloused from crafting furniture that held the warmth of his heart. But inside, he carried a loneliness that no amount of work could fill. Emma, now 8, was his light, yet he often felt he was failing her, unable to replace the love they'd both lost. One rainy evening, as James walked home from the workshop, he passed the old bus stop near the edge of town. There, shivering under a tattered umbrella, sat a young woman in a wheelchair. Her name was Sophie, though he didn't know it yet. Her clothes were worn, her face pale, but her eyes held a quiet strength, like a flame flickering against the wind. She was paralyzed from the waist down, a result of an accident years ago that had taken her family and her hope. The townsfolk pitied her but kept the distance, unsure how to approach her silent resilience. James stopped, something stirring in his chest. "You'll catch your death out here," he said softly. Sophie looked up, startled, her eyes meeting his. "I'm fine," she replied, her voice steady but tired. "The bus never comes this late." James hesitated, then said, "Come with me. My home's warm, and my daughter makes the best hot cocoa." Sophie's instinct was to refuse. She'd learned to trust no one, but there was something in James's voice, a sincerity that disarmed her. She nodded, and he pushed her wheelchair through the rain to his small, cozy house. Emma greeted them with wide eyes, her curiosity outweighing her shyness. "Who's this, Papa?" she asked. James smiled, introducing Sophie, who offered a gentle smile in return. Over steaming mugs of cocoa, Sophie shared fragments of her story, the accident, the loss, the years spent surviving on the edges of life. James listened, his heart aching with recognition. He, too, knew what it was to lose everything. Emma, sensing the weight of the moment, slipped a drawing into Sophie's hands, a picture of a girl in a wheelchair under a bright sun. "That's you," Emma said. Sophie's eyes welled up, touched by the child's kindness. Days turned into weeks, and Sophie became a regular presence in their home. James built a ramp for her wheelchair, and Emma insisted on teaching her to braid her hair. Sophie, in turn, shared stories of her childhood, sparking laughter that hadn't echoed in the house since Clara's passing. But it wasn't just joy Sophie brought. Her resilience inspired James. She taught him to see strength in brokenness, to find purpose in pain. When Emma struggled with school, Sophie tutored her, her patience turning frustration into triumph. When James doubted himself, Sophie's quiet encouragement reminded him he was enough. The town noticed the change. James, once a shadow of himself, stood taller. Emma's laughter rang louder. Sophie, who'd been invisible to most, now glowed with purpose. But whispers spread. Some called James reckless for taking in a stranger, others pitied Sophie, assuming she was a burden. Yet the trio ignored the noise, their bond growing stronger. One winter, a storm hit, and the town's community center, where Sophie had begun teaching art to children, flooded. The town faced losing a vital space. Sophie, with her unyielding spirit, rallied James and Emma to organize a fundraiser. James crafted wooden toys to sell, Emma painted signs, and Sophie spoke to the crowd, her voice steady despite her nerves. "This place gave me a home when I had none," she said, her eyes shining. "Let's give it back." The town, moved by her words, donated generously, saving the center. That night, as they sat by the fire, Emma curled up beside Sophie, whispering, "You're our family now." James looked at Sophie, his heart full. "You've given us more than we could ever give you," he said. Sophie smiled, tears in her eyes. "You gave me a reason to keep going." Sophie never walked again, but she carried James and Emma to places they'd forgotten: hope, love, and healing. The lonely father, the paralyzed girl, and the bright-eyed child became a family, not by blood but by choice. Their story spread through the town, a testament to the power of kindness and the courage to open one's heart. At the bus stop where it all began, a small plaque now stands, engraved with Sophie's words, "Home is where you find it, if you're brave enough to look." Thank you for watching this story till the end. Sparkles, if it touched your heart, please support us. Thumbs up, give it a like. Speech balloon, share your thoughts in the comments. Bell, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps us create more stories that inspire and make you believe in miracles. Your participation means a lot to us.